What's going on, guys? Pub Sports Radio here with Talkin Hands. I'm Preston Ekdahl, one half of Talkin Hands, here with DFS by the Numbers Brady. Brady, how we doing?
Doing pretty good. A small crew here, but we're still going to break down some fights, hopefully win some money. We have a really good card here, really good main event. Uriah Hall versus the 45-year-old Anderson Silva. Can't wait to break it down. Making my debut here on Pub Sports on a Friday night. Really looking forward to it here.
Yeah, no, it's a great, like you said, good fights. Good fights all up and down. Couple pullouts, which kind of stinks. We dropped, I think, what was your favorite look of the night? That Priscilla Cachoeira fight got dropped, which sucks. But yeah, there's definitely some good fights. We can start off here. First fight we got is the Kevin Natividad fight taking on Miles Johns. MyBookie.ag has Miles Johns at -160 and Natividad at +130. What are you liking here?
Yeah, so earlier in the week, I saw Natividad there at +175. It was one of the first fights I did tape because I saw a lot of money coming in on him. So I went through tape. I think this fight should be a lot closer than the line indicates, and the line is trending that way. I just think this fight's going to play out super close. Miles Johns, he's a very good wrestler. Striking's all right, but I do give the striking advantage to Natividad there, and Miles Johns also slows down as the fight goes on. Natividad's just not going to do that. I give multiple advantages to Natividad here, and I'm kind of surprised at the line. I do think it should be a pick 'em. Miles Johns in his last fight against Mario Batista, I actually picked him because I thought he had a big wrestling advantage, but in that fight, he didn't even try to go for takedowns. Was he trying to conserve energy? Maybe that was the reason, but very concerning there. And I'm getting knocked out by Mario Batista. I think if he goes for takedowns here, and Natividad shows some really good takedown defense, a really good get-up game, and I also didn't know this, but he is a brown belt in BJJ as well, so I think there's some decent value at Natividad. I bet him personally at +155. He's now +135. I still think there's some small value on that line. I do think Johns might be able to win the first round, but I think the next two, Natividad can definitely take over, maybe even find a late finish here. So my play is Natividad. I think it should be a pick 'em. I'm going with the slight underdog here.
Yeah, so my deal with this is that, and I was kind of on the same boat with you with Miles Johns. I was pretty high on the guy. He was at LFA. He won some good fights. I think he was a champion even. He beat a guy later on the card here. We have Adrian Yanez. He beat him by split. And like you said, supposed to be a really good wrestler. And he seems to gas out. He doesn't look that good. And the last fight, I had him against Batista, kind of like what you were saying. And he just got like cold clocked, knocked out finish. Didn't look good. He's kind of so not as good as you think. Natividad, Hawaiian, good power, big punching. And I kind of like what you said there with Johns might win round one. You like Natividad to win round two, round three. Could be a late finish, late stoppage. And Natividad could get this done. You're losing a little bit of value at +130, but if you like the dog, you like the dog. So I definitely see where you're going with that one. I can't really give a solid pick here. I think it's like you said, 50-50 fight. I'll probably lean Natividad to win by decision, but 50-50 fight. Johns loses this, he's on the ropes for sure. So move on to fight two. Dustin Jacoby, off some Contender Series fame here. Pretty quick turnaround for him, taking on Justin Ledet. MyBookie.ag, we have Jacoby -355, Ledet +280. What are you looking at for this one?
Yeah, that line on Ledet or Jacoby is getting pretty wide there. I don't really understand why. I mean, he looked really good on the Contender Series. Maybe he's getting a Contender Series bump there. He landed like 117 significant strikes. I thought they could have stopped that fight like 5 different times, but ended up going to decision there. And he did slow down at the end of the fight. That's kind of concerning here. And I do like Jacoby to get it done. It's just, I don't know. I have a bad feeling about this fight. If Ledet's able to take this to the ground, he has a very big advantage. Jacoby has been submitted twice, and Ledet's actually, pretty solid on the mat. He's finished 56% of his wins by submission. The problem for Ledet is he doesn't really go for takedowns. I think he has maybe one takedown in the UFC, and if he does go out here for takedowns and he gets it, I do think he can have an advantage, but Jacoby has showed good takedown defense. I think he's going to keep it on the feet, land more volume than Ledet. Ledet is so low volume. I think, Jacoby is the much faster fighter, but it's getting close to like -400 now. I'd probably stay away, but he should be a decent parlay piece. But give me Jacoby to win. I'm going to say by decision. Ledet's a really tough guy. I think he's been knocked out once by Johnny Walker. Kind of confident in it, but I think there's better spots on the card for me personally.
Yeah, that's kind of what sucks with this card. A lot of heavy favorites. Yeah. And like you said, Ledet, kind of a durable vet. He's fought good fighters. I mean, depending on what you think of Johnny Walker, how good he is. I think he's decent enough. Alexa Kamer, though, that loss isn't that great because Kamer just got not mollywop, but William Knight kind of put it on him pretty easily. And then prior to that, Rakic, and Rakic is what, top 5, I believe, in that division. Yeah. And Jacoby, good kickboxer. We saw the Contender Series fight. He really put on that guy bad. And I'm with you. They probably should have stopped that fight, but he did slow down round 3 and couldn't get that late finish. I do favor Jacoby here. Here's a hint. He's going to be in my probably best bet parlay. I just think he has all the tools on the feet. And Ledet hasn't shown me enough in his UFC fights to back him. I guess if you want to take the stab, so to speak, with him, but I don't see that happening. I'm going to take Jacoby. I want to see, let me check the total here. 2.5 rounds, even money, over or under. I think Jacoby inside the distance or under 2.5 there isn't a bad look.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised it's set even money at under 2.5. You said that's pretty good.
Yeah, minus 110 each way on 2.5.
Yeah, not bad. Because I could see Jacoby getting it done early, and if Ledet wins, it's probably early as well. So yeah, not a bad look.
Yeah. So far 2 for 2 in agreement. We might have some disagreements later on the card, but we'll see. Fight 3. This one is for me personally, this is a who cares type fight. These guys shouldn't be in the UFC. Cole Williams taking on Jason Witt. Jason Witt, we have a minus 150 favorite on mybookie.ag. Cole Williams, plus 120. What are you liking on this one?
No, I get it. Like you said, like a who cares fight. It seems like it's like that for a lot of people. I don't know why, but like this is a fight I'm really intrigued by, and I actually have a lot of action on this fight as well. Watching tape on Jason Witt, I literally think he is the better fighter in every single aspect of this fight outside of the chin. And the chin is very, very bad. He's been knocked out 4 times. He's been rocked like 10 plus times. And Cole Williams at the weigh-ins today, he came in like almost 5 pounds overweight. And he came in overweight about 2 years ago in his UFC debut against Claudio Silva. I think he came in like 3 or 4 pounds overweight as well. Ended up getting submitted by Claudio Silva, taken down easily. I know that's Claudio Silva, but he made it look easy there. And as for Witt, he has a really good wrestling game, really good on the mat as well. He's able to take the back really well as well. And Cole Williams, I'm just not impressed with the guy. He's obviously not UFC caliber. You can argue Jason Witt's not UFC caliber, but we do know Jason Witt's going to come in shape. He's going to be able to go all 15 minutes if need be. And I think if Cole Williams is going to win, it's going to be a first-round knockout. So what I did in this, I do think there was some value on Jason Witt. I got him at minus 140. Because I do think he's the better fighter in every single aspect of the game here. So I did place that bet. And what I also did was take a shot at the plus money. Fight doesn't go to decision prop at plus 150. And I was really surprised by that line for a couple of reasons. If Cole Williams wins, it's going to be in round 1 knockout. If Jason Witt wins, he can definitely grind out Cole Williams. Cole Williams' cardio is awful and probably submit him. I mean, Cole Williams has been submitted before, and Witt has a really good submission game. And what's also interesting is both these guys have never lost by a decision. So I do think there was some huge value at the plus 150. Fight doesn't go to decision prop. I think it's like plus 135 now. I still think there's some value. I do see this finishing, and hopefully it's Witt getting that submission for me, so I cash both bets there.
Yeah, nice. I'll just go through the chat right. We got MMA Locker Room. Yeah, I'm back. Back Locker Room. Spencer, JT. Max is high on Charlie Ontiveros to beat Kevin Holland as I think a plus 600 underdog, which is wild. Swervin, my man, fellow Saints fan, let's go. Bloodthirsty, Boston Nick, Slaughter in the house, Billy, what's going on, Billy? Tried Spicy, as always. And yeah, I'm kind of right there with you with Cole Williams. So the guys look pretty. I mean, I think his only UFC fight, right? He gets taken down, choked out really quick, and that weight thing is a huge red flag. Missing weight by 5.5 pounds. That's drastic. Jason Witt kind of got, I'm not gonna say thrown to the wolves, but in that fight, Takashi Sato wasn't a huge favorite. I think he was only like minus 200. And he looked to be a decent, like, size guy. Trains with Krause, right? James Krause's gym at Glory. and Kraus, we've seen him. Kraus is a good trainer, good coach, knows what he's doing. Witt, 17 wins, 6 losses. I probably won't take a side, but I like your look that fight doesn't go the distance. What do you say, plus 150?
Yeah, it was plus 150 when I got it. I think it's down to like plus 135, or even the under 2.5 is something to look at too.
Yeah, so that's what I'm looking at right now, mybookie.ag. If you guys want to bet with us, we bet mybookie.ag. Enter that promo code PUBSports. We get 50% deposit bonus on credit or debit, 100% on Bitcoin. And yeah, under 2.5 on mybookie.ag is plus 150. So yeah, I probably like that look more than the fighters, because I don't like taking, and they're not debut fighters because they've each had one bout in the UFC, but kind of like not well, like they haven't fought a ton. So I'd like that look on the under. And if I had to take a side, I'd probably lean with Witt with you. So I'll move on here. Here's a guy who hasn't been in the UFC in a long time, Sean Strickland. He's taken on another guy who might be seen as walking papers if he loses here, in Jack Marshman. Mybookie.ag, Sean Strickland, minus 355, Marshman, plus 280. Who are you liking in this one?
Yeah, I want to say Jack Marshman missed weight by a couple pounds today at the weigh-ins here. And Sean Strickland, he looked great. And I mean, he had that motorcycle accident like 2 years ago. So I was checking his Instagram, and the dude looks like he's in like the best shape of his life. So I'm not overly worried about that. I mean, the layoff is a little bit concerning, but I mean, he's getting a really good matchup here with Jack Marshman. Jack Marshman is somebody who I'm not high on whatsoever, somebody who's very low output. He tries to go out there and pretty much try to knock you out. And if he doesn't do that, he's going to lose. Somebody that went to a very close decision with John Phillips, the worst fighter in the UFC, which is kind of embarrassing there. But, Sean Strickland, I think he's the much better fighter, layoff or not. I think he's better everywhere the fight goes. And I like Strickland a lot. I mean, he's one of my most confident picks here. I think he is parlayable. And something I wanted to look at is, Marshman looked really bad on the scales today. He looked a little bit out of shape. I don't know if he's going to be able to last those 15 minutes. So Marshman also has been knocked out 4 times. He's been submitted twice, and he also has a 20% takedown defense. So I think if Strickland wants to, if he wants the path to least resistance, come out here, take down Marshman, and get a submission there. And, Strickland has submissions on his record. He's finished 20% of his wins by submission as well. So if he comes out here, I think he can strike with him. But, take this guy down. It should be an easy ground and pound victory. Even find a sub there. And I went to look at the props, and I was thinking like Strickland inside the distance be like minus 120, minus 115, and it was plus 160. And I did not understand that at all. Like, Marshman's been finished 6 times. So I did take a shot on Strickland to win inside the distance. I think it could be a sub. I think you could finish him on the feet as well. Marshman looked out of shape. I'm really liking that inside the distance line. I will have Strickland on some parlays as well. Yeah,
nice. We got Big Zomega here, says P with a fresh cut. Yeah, Big Zo, I had to get it cut. It was getting too long. Mo's in the chat. Mo said he had some bad food here in the chat. Ali, what's going on, Ali? And yeah, Jeff is currently moving, Ali, so that's why he could not make it tonight. And I agree with you. Jack Marshman is not. He's not a good fighter at all. He's not a UFC caliber fighter. He should really. I forgot who the guys were talking about. I think it was John Phillips. They're talking he should be in bare knuckle, and Marshman would fit right in there too. Because this guy can't stop a takedown. If it gets to the ground, he's kind of a fish out of water. John Phillips is his only win in 3 years. Strickland, the layoff stinks. And I mean, the worry is, because I do think Strickland has good stand-up, because he's knocked out some really good guys. But if he stays standing, there's the threat of getting clipped and knocked out, being off 2 years, getting to a firefight, maybe he gets clipped. I don't see that happening. I'd like what you said, path of least resistance. Take this guy to the ground, choke him out, get an easy finish. You said inside the distance, plus 160. My bookie has under 2.5, plus 105. They might even have, let me check their props real quick. They have, so Strickland by sub is plus 400. Strickland by KO, plus 330.
Yeah, I mean, I think he can do both. That's the thing. So I don't know.
I mean, you could do 100 on each,
Yeah, you could.
and as long as his win by decision, you're up a good amount of money. And
Yeah.
wow, here we look at this.
Hey.
Mo with the dono, $10 dono. No problem, Mo. We got it. We got you. And yeah, Nick, I am here. Nick. I am here. So yeah, we agree there. Yeah, it's Strickland all day. Good parlay piece or inside the distance like Brady had, DFS had. I think both are good plays. Next up here, maybe the fight of the night. Not the fight of the night, but the play of the night. We have Adrian Yanez taking on Victor Rodriguez. Yanez all the way up to minus 390 on mybookie.ag. Comeback on Rodriguez is, let me make sure, is, I just saw it. Holy crap. Plus 335. Plus 335. Yanez minus 390. Rodriguez plus 335. Brady, what do you like here?
Yeah, I like Adrian Yanez a ton, and I know he's making his UFC debut, but we have seen him on the Dana White's Contender Series, getting that quick knockout. And honestly, like Yanez is my most confident pick here. Watching tape on him, I was extremely impressed with what I saw. His striking is very good, very crisp. He picks his shots really well, and when he hits, like he hits hard. And Victor Rodriguez, the thing with him, I mean, he looks okay, I guess, but the problem with him is he's fighting on that Alaska regional scene. He's fought absolutely nobody. Like he's fighting the worst of the worst competition, and even got knocked out twice by some really, really questionable guys as well. I think they're bringing Rodriguez in here to get Adrian Yanez a win and probably a highlight real knockout win, if that. So I like Yanez here. I do have him parlayed with somebody up a little bit up on the card here. And very confident in that. My most confident pick, I guess some lines I was looking at was Yanez inside the distance. I think is like minus 150, something like that. I guess if you go there, but I'm just going to put him in a parlay, probably multiple parlays. I really like Yanez this week.
Yeah, no, I agree. I completely agree with you. Victor Rodriguez, we have a coworker at pub named Victor Rodriguez. You could have just put him in there, I think, with the way this fight might go. Adrian Yanez, he looked great in that Contender Series fight. Just blew the doors off that guy. Really quick stoppage, fast hands, good power, and your DFS by the numbers. I have Adrian Yanez as my MVP in a FanDuel lineup. So a quick stoppage there would be awesome. I like everything about Yanez. I'm right there with you. Maybe play him inside the distance, but I think the chalk's going to roll here, and he'll be in a parlay for me. We have Nick. Nick's showing the support. Thanks for the donation, Nick. That's awesome. Jacksonville Zoe in the building. Still has no powers. Stopping by to support the team. Bang, bang. Yep, Zoe. Bang, bang indeed. Awesome. Awesome, Zoe. So move on here. Hometown kid from San Antonio. Alexander the Great Hernandez taking on Chris Gruchmeyer. Hernandez up to, which is pretty nuts, I think, minus 425 with Chris at plus 325 on mybookie.ag. Brady, you liking the chalk here or seeing maybe an upset potential?
I mean, I'm liking the chalk, but it's getting a little too crazy. I parlayed Hernandez with Yanez earlier in the week. I think Hernandez is like minus 350, minus 360 around there. But yeah, it's getting a little too wide. People are throwing him into their parlays, and rightfully so. I do like him in this matchup. I think he has a clear path to victory. He's going to be the younger fighter. Gruetzemacher coming off of, I think, like a 2-year layoff. I think he's 34 years old as well. And I mean, a clear path to victory here for Hernandez. First of all, I think he could strike with Gruetzemacher if he wanted to, but the path to least resistance, getting takedowns. Gruetzemacher has a pretty poor takedown defense. He's been taken down in every single one of his UFC fights, besides his last one with Joe Lozon. And other than that, he's been taken down 5 times by Ramos. And Alexander Hernandez, like he has some pretty solid wrestling, pretty solid ground and pound. As long as he comes in here, fights smart, takes him down, maybe he can find a sub as well. Gruetzemacher has been subbed twice. I believe both times were in the UFC as well. So give me Hernandez here. I'm going to pick him to win by a grinding decision. Is he worth like the minus like 400, 420? Maybe, probably not. But he is one of my most confident picks on the slate. I do like that parlay with Yanez. I think both of them combined were like minus 155. Have a decent amount on that. So hopefully it hits. Hopefully it comes in here. It doesn't get knocked out. We've seen him knocked out twice by Drew Dober and Donald Cerrone. I don't think Gruetzemacher, is the level of talent of either of those two. So give me Hernandez here. I'm pretty confident in it.
Yeah, and I'm right there with you. With Hernandez has to wrestle, grapple against Drew Dober. I don't know what he was doing in that fight. He kind of shot for 2 takedowns, kind of couldn't even come close to get him down, and Dober just shrugged him off. Got into a stand-up fight. He wasn't winning a stand-up fight at all. And then he eventually got finished. We interviewed him for Pub probably when he fought here in San Antonio against Trinaldo. Another fight he should have lost. I think there's some hometown judging there. He didn't look good in that fight. And I think he got too tentative after the finish by Cowboy when he lost to Cowboy. So now this is a good kind of pick-me-up type fight for him. He knows what he has to do. He has to wrestle this guy. Chris is not elite anywhere. And Alex, if it does stay standing, is pretty quick. So he has good hands, good leg kicks. He can get in and out at a decent pace. Like he doesn't have to worry too much about getting clipped or dropped. So I could see him choosing to stand. I'd prefer him to wrestle. He's going to be in that big parlay, pretty much the Chalk City parlay. Because he can't afford a loss here, and his coaches should tell him wrestle. You'll get the win. Over 2.5 minus 150, not a bad look. Or Hernandez by decision, or like Brady just said, parlay him and Yanez. I'm going to parlay him, Yanez, and Jacoby. So I think all three get it done. So we're lockstep in that one. Got Connor Mack in here. If you guys want some good college football picks, Connor Mack's live tomorrow with Ian Cameron, Babano on Pub Sports Radio at 10 a.m. on the YouTube channel. Make sure to check that one out, guys. So move on here. Next fight, we have King Bobby Greene taking on Thiago Moisés. Bobby Greene minus 315, Moises plus 255. What you like in here?
Yeah, I mean, it's always hard to trust Bobby Greene, and trust him at a minus 315 is pretty crazy here. But this is just such a winnable fight for Bobby Greene. Like if he fights smart, he should dominate this whole fight, win an easy decision. But in his last fight with Alan Patrick is actually a black belt. I mean, I know it didn't look like it, but he's a black belt nonetheless. Bobby Greene was picking him up and slamming him. I was like, what are you doing? Why even mess around on the ground with a guy like Alan Patrick? If he does that here against Thiago Moises, he could be in some trouble. Like Moises is a legit grappler, legit black belt. I don't think he should come in here and take down Moises. If he does, it could play out a lot closer than the line indicates. I'm assuming he's going to go out there, keep this on the feet, stuff the takedowns of Moises, win an easy decision here. But if he does go out there and shoot takedowns and you do have a bet on Greene at minus 315, you might be sweating a little bit. But I'm going to take Greene here. I actually already bet him by decision. I think I got him at like minus 135, minus 140 by decision there. He has not had a finish since 2012 or 2011. And Moises has never been knocked out. And obviously, he's never been submitted as well. So give me Bobby Greene here by decision. I think there's a lot of value on the decision prop, better than paying like a minus 315.
Yeah, no, that's a really good look. Swervin, Saints gonna get it done. Swervin, hell yeah. And Jeff here with the comment that really killed him. Thiago Moises really screwed him. He had Michael Johnson over Moises, and Johnson lit him up, standing the whole first round. Second round comes. Yeah, he just he hasn't even dived for the leg. Just Johnson doesn't defend it at all. Gets tapped, 20 seconds in round 2. Really sour Jeff's night. Cool hand Luke, thank you, my brother, for that. Thanks for enjoying. And yeah, locker room's right there with you, Brady. Greene by decision, minus 125. I'm right there with you guys. I actually thought Moises looked better in tape, and then once I saw the Michael Johnson fight, he's not as good as I remembered, because his standing, striking, it's pretty bad. Kind of just like you said, more of a grappler, like jiu-jitsu, like specialist. He needs the fight taken to the ground. Greene is older, good durable vet. He's fought what? Affliction, uh, Strike Force, King of the Cage. Like he's fought everywhere. He's fought forever, and he's really never gotten like over the hump, so to speak. So, but right now he's on a good 3-fight win streak against kind of middling competition. He beats Moises here. Maybe he sees an Alexander Hernandez in his next fight. You know, a nice top 15 like step up. So, if this fight stays standing, Greene knows what to do. He's quick and he's sneaky. Like he knows like the tools of the trade. Like he's good with like that boxing, the way he can just kind of shell up, like move his shoulders, and he just can crack the other guy with some good straight rights, overhand rights, good hooks. And Moises on the feet, he's doesn't match him. Greene knows what to do. I like that look a lot you guys had with Greene by decision. Because I don't think he gets this guy out. I think it goes to the distance, and you're taking a minus 300 down to minus 125, 140, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. I do. I really like that look. So I'm with you. Greene wins or Greene by decision. So move on. Next bout, probably the most disappointing pullout fight. We have Kevin Holland taking on extremely short notice replacement Charlie Ontavaros. Holland, they might not even have odds. Oh, they do. Holland on mybookie.ag minus 740. Charlie plus 515. Brady, I don't know if you did a lot of research on this opponent, but I watched 2 fights and I don't like his chances. How about you?
Yeah, I don't like his chances either, to say the least here. Yeah, really disappointing. I really wanted to see that Muradov and Holland fight. It was going to be a really good fight, potentially one of the best fights on the card. But now we have Kevin Holland versus Charlie Ontavaros. And I mean, Ontavaros, he's someone who has fought, pretty much nobody's been knocked out 6 times. The dude does not have a chin. And I am shocked. I'm shocked he's getting this call up to the UFC here. And I know it's because it's a short replacement, but still, like, this guy is not UFC caliber at all. I think the minus 750 is warranted. And somebody you don't really want to trust at that price is a Kevin Holland, someone who doesn't have a good IQ, but I'm really finding it hard to give a path to victory for Ontavaros. He'd have to maybe hurt Holland on the feet, maybe knock him out. But the problem is Holland has a chin of steel. So give me Holland here. Give me him all day. I'm probably going to stay away from the money line there. Maybe look at the props. I don't think the KO prop is out or anything, but I do think he can knock him out for the 7th time, probably in round 1. The thing about Holland is if he comes out here like he did in the Hernandez fight and tries to end it right away, I think he could. But if he wants to mess around in there, talk crap, I think it could make it, to the 2nd and 3rd round. But he should finish this guy in the 1st round. Absolutely no problem.
Yeah, so that's what I was kind of wondering. This would be my play. Under 1.5 is minus 160.
I like it.
So you're getting Holland from a 740 to basically a 160 favorite if he gets it done under 1.5. And this guy, this Charlie guy, it seems like every fight it's like a finish. He gets finished or finishes. And I mean, Holland's definitely up there. I mean, it's just the size. Like Holland is so big, long, lanky. He has good striking. My deal though with Holland, where it would be a little bit of worry, he doesn't have that elite like knockout power. Like just one punch cracks you. The damage will accumulate, and then he'll just put it on you. And what I think is going to happen here is he's going to really hurt this guy, and the guy's going to probably shoot for a takedown. Holland gets his back, gets a sub, round 1, round 2. So, yeah, I think Holland all day. This guy, Max, is loving Charlie Ontveros. If he wins, you guys make the shirt, okay? Yeah, Max, tell us what you want on that shirt, and we'll make that for you. We'll make that shirt for you. Yeah, so, I mean, it's Holland all day for me. I'm right there with you. Move on here. Are we up to – yeah, we're up to – what's this? The first heavyweight to miss weight in God knows how long. Greg Hardy taking on Maurice Crochet Greene. Greg Hardy is currently a minus 315 favorite. Maurice Greene plus 255 on mybookie.ag. Brady, who do you like in this one?
Yeah, I like Hardy here quite a bit. I think he wins the fight. I'm probably going to leave him out of my parlays here. It's really hard to trust a guy like Greg Hardy. I mean, he's pulled plenty of stunts before. The illegal shot he had for the disqualification, when he used his inhaler, he lost that as well. So you really can't trust the guy because he is a massive stunt puller. And could he pull a massive stunt in this fight? Maybe. I think I'm really struggling to find a path to victory for Greene. I don't think he's going to sit there for 15 minutes and outstrike Hardy. I do think Hardy's the better striker. When Greene strikes, I mean, he has good kicks, but he just leaves his head right on the center line. He is definitely there to be hit, and he is very chinny as well. I mean, he got knocked down his last fight, ended up getting the submission from his back, but still he got knocked out by Pavlovich as well, and he's been rocked before. He got rocked by even Junior Albini rocked him in that fight as well. So really questionable chin. If Greg Hardy does hit him, I think he could hurt him here. A path to victory for Greene. Maybe Hardy knocks him down and Greene throws something up from his back. I mean, Greene is really a really good submission grappler. If he can get this fight to the mat, he could have a chance. But the problem with Greene is he doesn't have a takedown in the UFC, and that's a big problem here. I don't see him taking down Greg Hardy. And outside of something crazy happening, I think Greg Hardy gets it done pretty convincingly here, whether it's a decision, or I think he could finish him. And especially in the smaller cage where the action's going to be pressed a little bit. Greene is definitely hittable and he's definitely chinny. So I'm going to take Hardy to win inside the distance. I think if he wants to, he can finish him, but I also think he could just sit back and win a decision like he has been as of late.
Yeah. So I don't like Greg Hardy at all. Just with some of his past issues, and like Connor. Yeah, Connor. So Hardy, unless they got updated, but I could have sworn he missed weight. I think he weighed in at 266.5.
Yeah, he missed weight, and then they gave him an hour to cut more weight, and then he came in, I think, like 264 or something like that.
Oh, okay. So you ended up getting under the limit. Okay, yeah, that's what Sid is saying as well. Cool. Yeah. Greene though, Greene's a bad fighter. Greene is not a great fighter at all. Greene, like you said, somehow he gets those subs. He gets those submissions from the bottom on top where he just works them. Standing, Greg Hardy's improved leaps and bounds. Greg Hardy now has a decent jab, a decent overhand right, and he's big. He's hard to get down. And like you just said, if Greene's never shot a takedown, Greene's going to lose a stand-up fight. But Hardy, I think he's sort of gone past to where – I think it was the fight you just said, the inhaler fight. He had another one. It was his first fight, right? With the illegal knee against Alan Crowder. Where he just fights kind of dumb. Like he doesn't know like where he's at or what he's doing. But the last two fights to Castro, he looked good. And Volkov, he actually gave a pretty good showing. And we just saw Volkov whoop Walt Harris last week. So both guys looked and yeah, Biggs Omega here, kind of what you're sort of saying, plus 330 for Hardy by decision. Because, yeah, my bookie has the rounds at 1.5.
Really?
Yeah, over -120, under -110. So I was kind of looking at that over because I don't think Hardy just steamrolls Greene. But I favor Hardy. And that Hardy by decision prop does look pretty good. It's pretty tempting. But, yeah, like I said, I mean, guys, we kind of alluded to it earlier. Chalk City so far. I mean, hard to take a dog here, but yeah, Hardy's the pick. So I'll move on. Co-main event, by far the best fight on the card. Huge test for Bryce Mitchell, taking on good, tough, durable vet Andre Touchy Fili. MyBookie.ag current odds. Mitchell -145, Fili +115. Brady, I'll just let you know I'm taking the dog here. You there with me?
I am there with you actually, and Mo's not going to like this one. Mo is a big Bryce Mitchell fan, and rightfully so. It seems like a lot of the public is on Bryce Mitchell here, but as you can tell, like all the money is coming in on Andre Fili, and rightfully so. Like I thought Fili should be the slight favorite in this spot. And watching tape, like I was looking for Fili's takedown defense. How was it? And it's actually really solid. And I also saw a really good wrestling game from him as well. The problem with this and why I have not pulled the trigger yet, I did watch an interview with Andre Fili. He said he wanted to test the ground game of Bryce Mitchell. And if he does that, I mean, it's not a good idea, but I think it's a clear path to victory here for Fili. Stuff the takedowns of Mitchell. I don't think Mitchell has the wrestling to get him down, and Fili showed some really good takedown defense. Fili has been submitted twice, but I think it was like 10 years ago, something crazy like that. So I'm not overly worried. But yeah, if this touches the mat, I'm kind of concerned for Fili, but I do think he can hold his own in a way. But man, Bryce Mitchell is a wizard on the mat here. I do think this should be closer to a pick'em. I do think the value is on Fili. I have not bet it yet. I was kind of hoping that Bryce Mitchell money came in. So I'm kind of sitting back and waiting a little bit, but the pick is going to be Fili. I think he stuffs the takedowns. I think he puts it on Bryce Mitchell on the feet. Yeah, give me Fili here.
Yeah, and yeah, Jeff's here with Fili's my dog. Ninja is saying not the best fight on the card. Ninjas, what is your favorite fight on the card? Silva versus Hall? Jeff, favorite fighter to bet on is Fili. Max, Fili never fought real wrestler like Mitchell. I see it ending in round 2 sub. And yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. So Fili to me is one of the guys. My other guy for this, for most, I don't want to say most disrespected, but underrated, is Charles Oliveira. Fili, pretty much all he does is win. Good striking, good kicks, good knees, tall, long, lanky. Has the background at alpha male with Faber and crew. So he has decent enough wrestling chops. The ground game, like you just said, it's not horrible. Like, I don't think Mitchell's just going to come down, impose his will immediately, take him down, and just school him on the ground. And standing, Fili is much better. Fili's let me make sure, but yeah, so he's not that much taller. Wow, I thought he'd be a lot taller than
He looked
Mitchell.
like it at the weigh-ins. It looked like he was much taller.
He did? Okay. Yeah, because, I'm just on ShareDog, and it says he's only like an inch taller, which I thought he'd be much bigger than him. So, Jeff, Fili's the better wrestler. Yeah, Fili's out of a good camp, Jeff, for grappling. Fili has some cool. Billy, mean Mitchell. Mitchell has the camo, I believe. I believe they gave Mitchell his camo shorts for this one. And yeah, I'm with you. I think Fili actually, I'm not going to say schools him, but I think he wins a pretty clear, convincing decision. I think Mitchell goes gung-ho round 1, takes him against the cage, tries to bring him down, use that great, I mean, what you said is perfect. He's a wizard on the mat. He has some of the best transitions, the way he holds the guy down, goes from sub after sub after sub, doesn't let him up, doesn't let him, he continues to work. If you're a UFC novice, show him a Mitchell fight. The ground game isn't that bad because he's working. You just need guys who actually work. And Mitchell works really well, but I agree. The dogs do. Andre Touchy Fili by decision. That's where I'm going. So I think we've agreed so far on every pick. Maybe this main event, maybe we get one for the old guy, Anderson the Spider Silva, taking on Uriah Hall. MyBookie.ag. Silva currently is Anderson Silva plus 175, Uriah Hall minus 215. Does Silva end his career with a bang and a win, or does Hall get some good momentum at 185? Brady, what you liking?
Yeah, I think Hall gets it done. I just don't know how he's going to do it. It's basically like if Hall comes in here trying to get the finish, I think he can do it, especially attacking those legs early. But what we see with Anderson Silva at times, like in the Adesanya fight, like some of the guys come in here and just respect him a little bit too much. And if Hall does that, this fight could actually play out close, believe it or not. But I'm going to lean with Hall coming out here. I heard in an interview that he said he wants to be the bad guy in this fight. He wants to finish Anderson Silva. I really do believe that if he does come in there with that mentality, he will finish Silva. Starting with those legs, I think he could tear up those legs that have been injured multiple times. 45 years old, it's really hard to see this lasting 25 minutes unless Hall is really cautious and respects Silva too much. But I don't know if Hall makes it close, and they'll probably give a decision to Silva just because it's his retirement fight. But I don't see Hall taking it that far. I see Hall trying to get the finish here. I mean, it'd be smart to, and just try to get the finish and don't let it go to the judges' scorecard here. So I'm going to take Hall. I saw Hall inside the distance earlier in the week. It was like plus 180. I think it came down to like plus 130 now. I don't know if I'm going to bet it. I do think he finishes them. Maybe look at I think the under is set at 4.5. I think that could be a decent look as well. But I'm going to take Hall here inside the distance. Yeah, give me Hall.
Yeah, so it's right there with what you said. My bookie under 4.5 rounds is minus 145, over plus 115. And I don't want to say it's as easy as just you're fading, Silva, but look at his results. He has one win in 7 years.
Yes.
I mean, it's like as easy as that. Cannonier just chopped his legs to pieces. And Jeff said it perfect. Silva will break leg for a third time to end his career. And yeah, Rogues is saying the same thing. Silva will lose to right leg injury. And it's pretty devastating because the Cannonier one, it didn't even seem like he got kicked that much or that hard. And his leg, it just kind of went out on him again. It's just been happening over and over. Uriah Hall has good kicks, good strikes. He's a good striker. If he, like you're saying, if he targets the leg and goes for the finish, he'll probably get it done. The issue is he can't play like patty cake with Silva, because if he just jabs, like kind of, I'm not going to say let Silva dictate the pace, but if he sort of jabs and just, just plays like the Adesanya type style fight, you said it right. He might lose that decision, and then it's nowhere for him. Like, This fight does nothing for Anderson. I don't really understand why he took it. I would have rather seen him for a retirement fight. Not a guy like on the come up, so to speak, but like a legend, like Carlos Condit's at 170, but someone like that instead of like Uriah Hall. Uriah Hall, a win over him doesn't do anything, and then this fight does nothing for him. Yeah, the big fight was a little shady. Satan, yeah. Been so long since he was best on planet for those years. Yeah, Silva from 06 to probably 2010, I'd say he was the best fighter in MMA. I personally thought GSP would have defeated him, but I have a huge GSP bias. I have a St. Pierre BJ Penn 2 poster in my room here. So huge GSP fan. Rogue, thanks for subbing to this channel. That's awesome. Connor, showing love like always. Yeah, I agree with you. I'll take Hall here. I would you lay that price, the 230 money line?
I mean, I don't hate it. I actually think it's kind of generous, but there's so many question marks. Like, how is Hall going to approach this fight? If anything, I'll probably look at the inside the distance prop.
Yeah, or maybe a live bet, or I know Clint likes doing those 3, 4, 5s. So maybe if they play like patty cake, so to speak, those first 2 rounds, maybe Hall gets them out of there late. Neil, it's been downhill for Silva since the Weidman loss. Sad to see how the life. Yeah, Neil. I mean, I think the worst, and Brady would probably agree with me, was the Chuck Liddell Tito Ortiz fight where Chuck got knocked out by Tito in the first round. That was one that should not have been sanctioned. Silva's not that past his prime, but I don't think Silva gets this done either. So move on to, that was the main event. So Brady, what is your favorite look on the card?
My favorite look is honestly probably that Jason Witt versus Cole Williams fight doesn't go to decision at plus 150. I think there's so much value on that prop. I can see Williams getting it done in the first round. If he doesn't, he's probably going to gas out. Witt's probably going to grind him out and probably submit him. So I like that at plus 150. I think that line is way off. And I also like Sean Strickland wins inside the distance at plus 160. Marshman did not look great on the scales. And Strickland's actually a pretty decent finisher. And I think he's a much better fighter, honestly. And it's really not even close.
Yeah, no, I agree. I like both those looks. I'm going to go with, let me just read off what Jeff has for his best bets. He has Natividad plus 130, Witt minus 150, Fili plus 115, Uriah Hall minus 215, and a parlay of Strickland, Bobby Greene, Hernandez, and Hall plus 200. That's what Jeff likes. I'm going with the parlay. I said it's even money. It's chalk. It's Hernandez. It's Yanez. And it's Jacoby. So Chalk City. If there's some dogs that win this fight, we might get a really, really interesting night. But I think the chalk holds again. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Hit the sponsor once more time. If you guys need to bet, the lines we took all our fights from tonight was mybookie.ag. Enter that promo code PUBSports, 50% deposit bonus match, credit or debit, 100% on Bitcoin. And if you're in the San Antonio area suffering from stress, anxiety, PTSD, or insomnia, go visit Natural Heights. Give them a call, 210-592-1060, located at 1880 Nacogdoches Road. And if you're trying to get bulked up, go to bulksupplements.com. Promo code PUBSports, 5 to 10% off your order. And as always, if you want to see us, we'll be here live tomorrow for the fights. Brady, they're early, right? Like 3 p.m., I think.
Yeah, I think it's like 3 or 4 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah, so early fights. We'll be here live for Talking Hands. There's also some huge boxing matches tomorrow if you guys care for that, but a lot of good fights. As always, appreciate Brady coming on for his inaugural debut of the Talking Hands with me. Little short crowd, quick show, but we got you the information you guys needed, and that's pretty much it. So we will see you guys tomorrow night for Hall versus Silva.